Hey, if you're a WordPress pro, you know the daily grind all too well. Well, today we're going to dive into a new tool that might just completely change how you work. It's called DWPress, and it's a desktop WordPress backup manager. Yeah, does this look a little too familiar? Juggling a bunch of servers, staring at terminal windows, trying to keep track of backups. It's a total headache. But what if I told you there's a much better way to manage all your WordPress sites? All right, so let's get right into it. We need to talk about what I'm calling the WordPress backup problem. This is the core reason why managing backups, especially when you've got more than one site, is just so painful. For any professional out there managing WordPress sites across a whole bunch of different servers, it's this really painful, super repetitive, and totally manual workflow. It feels like you're stuck in this never-ending cycle, right? So let's take a closer look at that daily grind. We call it the old manual way. And trust me, this is where all that frustration really starts to build up. Okay, so here's what that old manual workflow looks like. Step by painful step. First, you have to SSH into each server manually. Then you're running WP CLI commands just to trigger the backups. After that, you're downloading these huge DWPress files over SFTP, which can take forever. And you're not done. You still have to inspect the backup contents using command line tools. And finally, you have to deploy those backups to other environments completely by hand. I mean, every single step is its own separate, tedious task. So you end up with a process that's not just slow, it's super error-prone, it's incredibly time-consuming, and it is 100% manual. Okay, but what if there was a better way? This is where DWPress comes in. It's a brand new desktop solution that's designed to tackle this problem head-on. So what exactly is DWPress? Well, think of it as a desktop app that completely replaces that entire manual workflow we just talked about. Instead, it gives you a visual, automated pipeline. Honestly, it might be the solution you've been waiting for. And here's what makes it really different. DWPress is a local-first application. It runs on macOS, Windows, and Linux, right on your machine. The best part? No browser needed. It's a dedicated, focused app, not another tab to get lost in. All right, let's look at how DWPress completely reimagines your workflow and transforms that painful process into something you'll actually like. First up, you connect once, and you can manage forever. You just point DWPress at your servers using SSH one time, create your projects, and that's it. You're done. No more logging in over and over and over again. Next, say hello to automated backup monitoring. The app automatically detects when there are new backups on your servers, downloads them, and even extracts them for you. It all just happens in the background. You literally don't have to lift a finger. Now this is a total game changer, visual archive inspection. Forget the black and white terminal. Instead, you get a full file tree you can browse, a built-in code editor, and even a tool to query the database directly. It's basically an IDE for your backups. And what about deployment? Well, that's now a simple one-click process. You can push any backup to any of your servers with just a single click. DWPress handles all the complicated stuff for you. So you might be wondering, who is this really for? Well, if you're a WordPress developer, a DevOps engineer, part of an agency team, or a freelancer trying to juggle multiple client sites, yeah, this tool is definitely for you. Okay, so let's really dig into the DWPress advantage. I want to show you a direct comparison that makes the benefits crystal clear. The big question is, how does it really stack up against the old ways of doing things? Let's break it down. Okay, this side-by-side really says it all, doesn't it? For multi-site management, you go from having a million terminal tabs open to just a single, clean dashboard. For backup automation, you can finally ditch those messy cron scripts and just use the built-in scheduler. What about file inspection? Say goodbye to command line tools and hello to a visual file tree and an actual editor. Same for the database. No more MySQL CLI, you get an inline SQL viewer. And deployment, it goes from a manual SFTP nightmare to a one-click action. And maybe the biggest win, you get permanent offline access to your backups, something that's just impossible when you're stuck in a browser. So all of this leads to one really key takeaway. It's time to go beyond the browser. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how you work. And if you boil it all down, the core value is just this simple. One single dashboard to manage all of your WordPress sites. What DWPress does is it takes your entire backup and deployment workflow out of the chaos of terminals and browser tabs, and it puts it right where it belongs, on your desktop, inside one focused, powerful application. So the question I'll leave you with is this. Isn't it time your WordPress workflow finally left the browser tab behind for good?